Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I shall attempt to describe to you the epic and famous Battle of Basantar from the perspective of a Punos officer who participated in the Battle of Basantar. Before I get on to the battle proper, let me tell you that we had crossed the international border on the 5th, 6th night, 5th, 6th of December. And by now, we had already got into Pakistan by about 15 odd kilometers. This battle, as it developed, was just a precursor for further objectives of Zafarpal and Shakargarh, which further lie to the west of this map. To explain the map, please, I direct your attention to the map. If you see my cursor, where my cursor right now is a place called Hamral. This line, which is dark black line with dots, this is the Basantar minefield. This particular place, Sarachak, Jarpal village, Bada Pind village, Pindi Chhaniani, Ghazipur village and Ghazipur Reserve Forest, and Lalyal. I'll just repeat myself. Hamral, Basantar minefield, Sarachak, Jarpal, Bada Pind, Pindi Chhaniani, Ghazipur Reserve Forest, and Lalyal. Without going into too many details, let me come to the battle proper. The infantry had captured its objectives, 16 Madras of Sarachak and Ghazipur Reserve Forest, and 3rd Grenadiers at Jarpal. Punos was to induct through the minefield. However, since the minefield was not cleared, the trolls were becoming ineffective. To clear the minefield, the commanding officer had a very crucial decision to take as to whether to wait for the minefield to be cleared or to go through. The reason was CO 16 Madras, who was in this reserve forest, was harping for immediate induction of armor as he could hear tanks of the enemy building up from Ghazipur and Lalyal. The brigade commander of 47 Infantry Brigade 2 was asking the CO to get inducted as soon as possible. So the CO took a decision, and while the minefield of approximately 600 meters was still unbreached, he decided to get inducted. And we followed a formation called Lion Head Formation and entered the bridgehead with Charlie Squadron, 2 troops of Bravo Squadron, 18 Raj Rif in the area of Ghazipur, Bravo Squadron less 2 troops at Jarpal, and Alpha Squadron in reserve at Sarachak. It was already going to be first light, and the tanks were building up their attack from towards south of Ghazipur. The enemy had laid a very strong smoke screen behind which they were moving, closing up with the reserve forest. As soon as the smoke lifted, there was a firefight during which 3 of our tanks got hit, one of which was of our OP officer. However, we were able to knock out their 18 tanks. All this happened in minutes. While this was happening, another attack started building up from Lalyal. So since our commanding officer himself had placed him here, So he, along with these two troops of Bravo Squadron, started knocking off their tanks this side. So within a few hours' time, there were around 25 enemy tanks lying burning in this area. While this was happening, Bravo Squadron less two troops. They were the squadron commander was asking the commanding officer to send reinforcements because from towards Pandit Chinyani, an attack was building up of enemy armor to break through and to destroy this bridgehead. 13 lancers of the enemy started moving from up north and swinging like this to exploit this gap between Jarpal and this reserve forest. So the commanding officer, Colonel Hanuj Singh, detailed half squadron of Alpha Squadron, which was located at Sarachak, to quickly go here and plug this gap. So Captain Malhotra, Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal, and Lieutenant Avtar Singh Elawat were tasked to quickly go with their troops and close this gap. During their move, of these 7 tanks, 4 got either hit or 1 or 2 of their commanders got killed in the ensuing fight. 1 odd tank got off-road mechanically. So finally, it was only these 3 officers who placed themselves here. While they were still taking positions, the attack was already building up. In this tank-to-tank duel, 13 Lancers attack got petered out. However, in the bargain, Avtar Elawat's tank got hit. It was burning. He got wounded. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal's tank got hit thrice. His tank was also burning. His engine was burning. And Squadron 2IC Captain Malhotra's tank, the gun stopped firing because there was a snag. So Arun understood that he has to stand his ground, otherwise they will get a breakthrough. In the meanwhile, 13 Lancers who had pulled back, whatever remnants were left of them, and again launched a counterattack within about half an hour to 40 minutes. Now it was only Arun Khetarpal who was standing here with his tank already burning. In fact, he was asked to bail out. However, he refused, as the commanding officer had given instructions to the regiment that no one will move 1 inch backwards. Whatever may happen, we will fight from where we stand. So while number of tanks got knocked out, there was one last tank which finally barely was about 75 meters from his own tank, shot Arun Khetarpal for the 4th time, and which was the fatal round in which Arun Khetarpal died. However, before that, he also fired and destroyed the squadron commander's tank, and the squadron commander being Major Nisar, who after the ceasefire described this tank. In fact, he asked that who was this commander who was in this place, because he stood like an unsurmountable wall between defeat and victory. And he was aghast when he was told that this person was Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal, who had not even done his young officer's course as yet. So this is how the Battle of Basantar unfolded from a tankman's view. Thank you.